On tonight's show, we choose Ruby or Sapphire. Ian's lit up the barbecue for the first grilling of 2023. And Coops is getting BF blues. So, welcome back to the Incensed podcast, episode 103. Coops, my heart's fluttering for you, man. Are you okay?
The most important question I want to ask is, which one? What boyfriend am I missing?
This is true, you're double toeing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it could be Ian, it could be you, it could be Mark, it could be Dax, it could be anyone. Who are we talking about?
This is true. Speaking of, we do have to address the elephant in the room. Unfortunately, Mark can't be with us for tonight's show. He is off visiting a cow. No.
He's off trying to catch his shiny young goose from last week.
He's actually closer to us, Coops, than ever before. He's in London at the moment, so we'll miss you this week. We'll see you in a week's time. But Ian, are you all Gucci, mate?
Mate, always all Gucci, always. Ready for tonight. It's going to be a good night. We have a fourth, I believe.
Yes, you're not wrong. You have lit the barbecue.
I am getting that grill nicely warmed up, and we will put the meat on shortly.
Oh la la.
Well, you got a few sausages, haven't you?
Some bratwurst.
Dora my Pole is going to make an appearance.
Do you know what, yeah? Any opportunity this guy gets to say a German word, did you just hear him, Milo? Did you?
Yes.
What is it? A brack? What is it?
Bratwurst.
Oh, you kill me. Moving on swiftly. Yes, Marky, we love you, but we do have a very exciting replacement for you. Just for the week, just for the 1 week. This is going to be our first ever guest of 2023. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, our first ever Twitch streamer of the podcast as well. Is that correct?
Oh, I believe so. Yes.
Kind of. I think we've had two that do Twitch stream, but not kind of exclusively.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, all of our guests Twitch stream.
Let's not get bogged down in technicalities, right?
But no, all jokes aside, I'm super excited to announce this guest. He does have a collective on all of his social medias over a whopping 50,000 followers / subscribers / however you want to say it. And in my personal opinion, I think his raid hour live streams are better than our own Pogo Milo UK. It's my pleasure to introduce onto Incensed, a Pokemon Go podcast, LandorAlpha's in the building.
What's going on, boys? How are we doing today? What's going on?
Good, man. How are you?
It's fantastic to have you with us.
I'm doing great. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed at 3:46 or whatever it is on a Thursday afternoon. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I know it's a little later for you guys.
Yeah. No, man. Like I said, yeah. Just a few hours, but no, man. Welcome. On behalf of all four of us, I know Mark's not here. Thank you so much for joining us. Put your seatbelt on. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride, mate. This next hour, I hope you're ready.
Strapped in, ready to rock and roll. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah. Don't you worry.
It's going to be a cracker of a show, and we will get to you very shortly. But, of course...
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
And if you get something while listening to the show, do tag us on our socials at Incensed Podcast. Twitter is obviously the primary one. Instagram, Coops has said he signed out of it, so it'll be either Ian or I looking at it. But we do want to hear from you on Instagram, please. And any other socials, Niantic Campfire would be fantastic. Or incensedpodcast@yahoo.com using our famous hashtag, Shinies of the Week.
Clarify the spelling.
Oh,
you like that,
Daxy. Yeah, thank you. I see what you did there with the intro. You were teasing me into it. I see you.
It's almost as if I knew it was on the soundboard. Yes. Anyway, that hashtag is SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. And now Ian is going to get to know us. Soundbite, please.
And now, children, it's time for getting to know you with the Incensed Podcast.
You see what I did there? I kind of let him string it out a little bit until he ran out of things to say.
They're like a married couple. They're just to pre-warn you, these two. They'll be all over each other.
It's an unhealthy relationship.
It's very unhealthy. It's toxic. Joe, nice to have you here. Tonight's getting to know you question, really simple. We're all going to answer this, but we're going to put you in the spotlight first, let you answer this question for us first. What was the last TV show that you binge watched?
Oh, God. Streaming services count?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
All right.
As long as they're legal. No.
Oh, no, it's legal. Hulu.
Okay.
It's Spy Family. I've been going through it, watching the sub, not the dub. I haven't bothered with the dub. I'm more of a sub person because you really get the real feelings of like the voice actors doing their roles in the original language it was basically written for.
True energy, I
Love
guess.
that show. I don't know how you guys are with anime, whatever's on your list, but that was the last thing I was binge watching.
That's an anime thing. I don't know anything about anime whatsoever.
Coops.
Is that?
Cartoon. It's a cartoon.
Okay, cool.
You're going to trigger people with that.
Unless you're talking to some real anime fans, if they hear you say it's a cartoon, you might have
I
a
like
fight
to
on your
trigger
hands.
people.
It's like blasphemy.
Right on then.
It's like plushes, stuffed toys. Yeah, simple.
Careful, one fall.
Mine are they're away right now, so they didn't hear you. So you gotta be careful.
Okay. Is that next week's Polly and stuffed toys or flushes?
Ooh, I would be interested in seeing that. Yeah, please trigger more people. It makes Twitter a lot more fun.
Yeah,
Thanks.
the world's just too like PC at the moment. Let's just say it how it is.
Start small.
Yes.
So yeah, start small. Once you get some momentum, don't jump for the big ones because then there's this thing called canceling. I guess we may never hear from you again. Or
Don't get cancelled too soon.
Yeah.
No.
True.
Take your time with it. Make it good.
Yeah, we'll get cancelled. We'll do a Clarkson in a couple of years' time.
Oh, God, Ian. Oh, God, Ian.
Anyway, moving on. Coops.
Yeah, I apologise. I'm not an anime fan. I'm not really, as well as not a podcast fan. I'm not really a series kind of guy, but I'll tell you series over sort of the last few years what I've really, really enjoyed. If that's okay, Ian, can I do more than one? Is that?
You can do as many as you want. We've got an hour to
Like
fill.
every question.
Yeah. So I loved, and I think this is only on Apple TV, I loved a series called Ted Lasso. I actually think it's really famous in America, which is weird because it's soccer, but it's I was addicted to that, and I think the third season comes out soon. Obviously, dying for Squid Games season 2. That was and the third series that I actually enjoyed was which I watched recently was that Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power.
Oh, on Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yeah, Amazon. I actually like it. I feel like it's quite difficult because Lord of the Rings is so amazing. I'm a huge fan, but it was actually okay. I'll give you this interesting fact if anyone cares. The first ever series that I watched, and I literally binged it, considering it has like 20 episodes in a season. It has like 5 seasons. Was back in the day when I got my laptop in 2013. I was addicted to Prison Break. I thought it was insane.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me, yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it literally everyone was like, if you're going to watch your first ever series, it's got to be Prison Break. So yes, that was my first ever one, and those are my 3 sort of favourites over the last sort of 2 years.
Good list.
Thank you, bro.
Solid
Thank
list,
you.
yeah. I'll have to do the Coops version of this question and sort of dodge the
I can answer
answer.
my list for him. It's Clarkson's Farm, the Grand Tour.
Well,
It's not, no way.
man.
Is it-
no,
is it
but there's a very poignant point behind it, is the fact that I just don't tend to watch stuff, don't really put time into sitting down and watching a TV series.
Unless it's Jeremy Clarkson.
Even that.
You're on that content grind, I bet.
Exactly, that's it.
Yeah,
You're
I
like,
knew
there's
it.
so much to do, like, as a solo creator, and obviously for this podcast and stuff. You're like, I like to be busy creating bits and pieces. I don't really like to sit down and actually watch something. But the last thing I actually binge watched, and this will make Ian laugh, was Clarkson's Farm Series 1. And that
Fine
when
out
did that
now.
when did that come out? It's like
2 years ago.
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2021 when that dropped. And that is genuinely the last time. And I think it dropped actually just after we recorded one of our first podcast episodes.
Yeah, it did. We would finish recording and it dropped at midnight that Friday.
I can't remember
Friday
if it dropped like after episode 2 or 3 or something, but we literally I finished recording, binge watched it, and then edited the show in the morning.
Actually, I think you sent a photo to the group chat at like 6 a.m. Like, just finished watching my baby.
Yeah, I think you did.
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually sure you did.
We each have that man that tickles us. Yours just happens to be on the soundboard, Coops.
Yeah, true.
Vassafal.
Oh, I love James Bond. Oh, James Bond is my favourite series of all time. Ooh.
James Bond isn't a TV show.
Oh, well, okay, fine.
Technicalities.
Are we due for one though?
Actually, there is a James Bond reality TV series coming out, but it's not about James Bond. It's James Bond themed. But
And he's
that
off
will
and
be
he's
out
out the
on Amazon
gate
at
here.
some
We've
point.
got Ian Waterfall loving off James Bond. He's going to tell us all about the series and he's
I'm
in
not.
first place.
No. The last TV show that I binge watched was actually over the Christmas period, over the holidays, Wednesday, which was the
okay,
modern
yeah.
reinvention of Wednesday Addams that Tim Burton did with Jenna Ortega. Bit of a slow starter, but solid show. brilliant show. Can't wait for season 2.
I heard good things about it.
Yeah, it is. It's
Was it good?
Yeah.
It was good, yeah.
So the
fair.
first episode is a little bit slow, but once you get past the first episode, second episode onwards, yeah, really good.
It's funny you say that because I watched the first episode of it and didn't watch the rest. It's funny you say that.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's got to get me hooked, brother. That's what I'm saying. Squid Games, Ted Lasso.
Your attention span.
You should
Yeah.
never judge a
It's
TV
appalling.
show by its pilot.
Okay,
Which
fine.
is
But like I
unfortunate
said-
because that's how things happen in
Yes,
the real world.
Yeah.
So, Black Mirror, you guys start out with Black Mirror, right?
Oh,
Tell me about the first episode of that one.
God,
Which you probably can't.
yeah. I don't think I could sleep for a week. To be honest.
That was you guys that did that to us. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
my
guess.
I
God.
was questioning life after that. I was like, what did I just see?
But if anyone's looking for any ideas of things to watch, there's a few good things there. Watch Clarkson's Farm. It's not massive
you
in the
haven't-
States, but
No,
it
do
is.
not watch.
Series
do not
2's
watch.
Season
dropping
2
in like
drops
2
on
weeks.
like 2 weeks' time.
No,
Yeah.
and
2
guess
weeks.
what?
10th of
Boys, no one
February.
cares. Literally, no one cares. No one cares. No one
Actually,
cares. No one
ML
cares.
Fault 2022 in the Patreon chat does, so
Okay.
Coop, shut up.
Yes. Know your place.
One person agreed, and that is enough.
Okay. Fine.
Speaking
fine.
of knowing places, we've actually had a WhatsApp message.
Oh, are you getting your rock and roll voice, Coops?
Yes.
Send your WhatsApps now.
Do you remember about a year ago
No.
we had a letter to the host from one of our listeners called Denticles?
Oh,
Yes.
Denticles,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, Denticles has been back on, and here's his message.
Hey boys, hope you're still keeping well. It's been a while since my last letter, so here's another just for you. Given how there's always new players joining the game, and some moving to new areas, I wondered if you had considered bringing community leaders on as a guest. Similar to when you have your fellow content creators as guests, I think this would be a great way to bring communities to light, as well as letting players know where they can find these groups. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and hope that every community can continue to grow. By the way, I haven't forgotten about the Incensed PvP showdown, so we should get a date in the diary and make it happen. I've also brought back my in-person Sylph tournaments as Season 5 has started, and I'm looking forward to having you there. Hashtag episode 63, hashtag verbal contract. All the best, Simon, aka Dentazoid, aka Denticles.
Nice.
Nice diesel engine, by the way.
I thought he was in a
Absolute.
cinema. It was almost like the projector running.
Yeah.
It's a projector or a lorry. Yeah. Or something like that.
He's watching Wednesday. Ian, Mark is going to be fuming with you that you've played
I know he
a
loves Denticles,
soundbite
yeah.
from Denticles. He's going to be fuming with you, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there.
I know, but like I said earlier, I like triggering people.
Well, we'll play it again next week with the callback. How about that?
Yeah, Milo, take the lead on this one.
Oh dear. To be honest, I think he's got a good point. Thanks for sending it in. Community leaders are massively important. That's why we've got the community ambassador program sort of in the works and all of that to try and bring more, I guess, notice to people who do take charge and help lead communities and build them and grow them. And also any excuse to push the podcast to more people. I wouldn't say no. And I was rather hoping the PvP verbal contract would have died to the pages of
Well, the
history.
problem we've got is I think Denticles are from the Croydon area, and I don't think the stab vests have arrived yet.
Still.
Still, I don't know what's happening with Amazon.
Yeah.
I think they're on the International Space Station at this point.
We've been waiting nearly a year for them.
I'll add on. I feel like it's not difficult, but it is difficult at the same time because first of all, what area do you pick? Right, it needs to be like an not an exciting area, but I couldn't choose someone from Tunbridge Wells. Like it would have
No offense
to
to
be
people
like
in Tunbridge Wells.
no,
Massive PvP community.
no. But what I'm saying is, it would have to be an area like London and Manchester, and I feel like it just might be a little bit sort of.
That's kind of
difficult because-
exclusive rather than inclusive if we're only picking big areas.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. It's difficult because not to sound horrible, but it's like I've said to you, if you've got an ambassador from Tunbridge Wells, then like why do people care? Because do you know what I mean? Like 99.9% of people.
Apologies if
aren't
there
from
is a
there.
community leader
No,
in Tunbridge Wells.
no. But what I'm saying is that if it's London, people can relate in the surrounding areas, like a big town like Birmingham or Manchester. And if you're like an hour from there, you can relate because it's your main city centre, it's your main city. The same as Brighton, you can relate to the area.
We're going to say, if Coops has put his point of view in, Ian, what do you think? And I've got a question for Joe, which actually has some kind of relevance to the sodding message.
To be honest, personally, I'd have anyone on chat about their area, whether they're talking about the smallest little village in the middle of nowhere to the Scottish Highlands to deepest, darkest Wales. Every community is worth shouting out, in my opinion.
As long as they can play Chasing the Tail. It's all good. But Joe, do you PvP at all? Since the question was sort of like hinting at us doing PvP tournaments.
It may pain some people to hear this. I'm not the biggest fan of PvP.
Yes.
So I don't
right
do
podcast
much
then.
of it unless I'm forced to. And now that I'm on the track to level 50, since I hit 49, got to get to rank 10. So I kind of have to.
Wait for the new season.
Yeah, might as well, yeah.
Because obviously, let's face it, you guys aren't coming to Croydon for a PvP tournament, right? If I
Over
got that
my dead
correct.
body.
I'll be honest,
okay.
I wouldn't even go to Walpole Park for a PvP tournament.
Okay.
I
So-
won't be there at all.
No.
No.
Okay. Let's be truthful to our verbal contracts, because he's right. Hashtag episode 63, I think he said.
There's no
Yes.
reason why we can't have a remote PvP tournament. Then
I was
Milo
gonna say,
can
you can
sit.
remote battle.
Yeah, you can remote battle, so we don't all have to be in the same place. We could literally just screen record it and.
All of this PvP chat, Ian, your concentration has slipped. I think the barbecue's getting out of control because it's time to...
And there we go. That horn means it is time to medium rare cook our guest. We're going to grill our guest. Joe, this section is all about you, and we're going to take it in turns just to interrogate you just a little bit so that our beautiful listeners can learn a bit more about you.
Give me your worst, or I mean your best.
We'll try and keep it our best.
I'll jump in first because I know probably Coops might ask about your origins of your content creation. I'm more interested in your GoPro setup for when you're streaming live. Talk to us about that, because it is pretty cool with you having that backpack and the GoPro and how you stream, and talk to us about the tech.
All right, so the idea about that whole backpack setup, I wanted to do IRL streaming, but I want to do it for as little money as possible and to see what I can squeeze out of it without having like 3 or 4 different carriers. I'm only using one carrier. I'm using Verizon, so that's how it gets from the backpack to home base here. I go from backpack to OBS here, and then it goes out to Twitch or TikTok sometimes, depending on which one I'm streaming on, and do it that way. So, as you already have said, there's a GoPro involved, and I use a GoPro Hero 9 Black for anyone who really wants to know the
I think they're
tech
even up
specs
to
behind
11
exactly
now,
what
aren't they?
They are up to 11
Yeah.
now. The 11, they changed the aspect ratio on it. It's a little bit more boxier now. It goes via HDMI to an encoder in my bag. So what the encoder does, it takes a video signal and audio signal as well, and it then beams that through. I actually have a router in my bag too, so it connects to the router. Router beams it home. Home receives it, puts into OBS overlay and all that stuff, and then it ships it out to whatever platform I'm streaming on.
That is awesome.
And that's how I keep it on a budget of I don't know, let's see, $400 for the GoPro. Encoder's like $300 on its own. 20,000 milliamp hour batteries powering everything in there. Like a $70-$80 router. It still adds up, but it's better than having to get like a live view, like one of those. Depending how you spec it, US dollars, anyway, 2K or up in price. It's
point
insane.
of view of a player, isn't it? You're not sort of, as it were, live streaming the phone directly. You're streaming yourself walking around the events.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the big thing about it. A lot of people like to see what the streamer, the player, ends up seeing in their day-to-day. Of course, they want to see what's going on with gameplay, especially if it's like a special event before their turn when they get to go play. They like to see what that person sees, and IRL's a pretty big category doing the same thing, but not too many people combining that and Pokemon Go together.
Yeah, so definitely got a niche in terms of the streaming thing there.
Joe, look at Miley. You can see the cogs turning now.
Very, very slowly.
How do I
slowly.
jump in on this? We can talk.
You need 2K, Milo. That's what you need.
We suddenly find that somehow. But it's a very good point, because most people who stream, they have like the little face cam, they stream the phone, gameplay is the main factor, and then you've got the crappy face cam that shows a tiny little bit of that. Yeah, don't get to see any of the RL stuff, which when we saw you in Seattle.
Yeah, it was awesome. It looked great.
People got to see it in videos later, but you got to show people here and now, boom, we're here.
And you actually get to see the actual route that you're taking, as well, so people actually see the park as it is as a player.
No small feat to pull something like that off, especially when you're there with who knows how many thousands of people and everyone's clogging the network. Yeah, I would say it's probably a small miracle I was able to get a stream out without too many problems. And that's what I love to do. I love to bring the players who can't afford to go, or maybe accessibility wise they cannot go, to show them what's happening. If they can't enjoy it at home, at least they can partake in that way.
Absolutely. Now, I suppose the burning question is, are you going to be going to Vegas?
So that was a question for a long time now, but I can officially confirm that I will be attending the Hoenn Tour Vegas event. Yes, it's happening.
Smashing.
It's gonna be a good time.
We'll see you in Caesar's Palace.
What are we playing, boys? What are we playing?
Live stream directly from the table.
Milo's partial to a game of craps.
I thought it was backgammon we were
I
talking about.
thought he was going to say backgammon.
Nice.
Oh my god, these are my cards.
Yeah, blackjack.
Here you go.
Is this good, guys? If I do,
Well, good luck with the service because it's sold out, right? So hopefully
it is sold
Yeah,
out.
hopefully you get a phone signal to stream.
To play the game and stream, yeah.
Yeah. But Joe, I was actually going to ask where your name comes from, but Ian said it was Joe. So hey, Joe.
Oh, you ruined it. Come on.
Yeah.
Damn, let's rewind. Let's start again.
Just put in a little rewind. Yeah. So what? I've actually got a real question. Just quickly tell us the name. Where does it come from? Where does it stem from?
So LandorAlpha, that's half my last name. I'm Joe Landor, in case you didn't know that. And Alpha, because I needed something cool to go after. There's really no good reason to have Alpha after it other than to just not have it just be my last name. Just wanted something to make it stand out a little bit, and that's how we ended up there.
It's the start of the phonetics alphabet, isn't it? Alpha.
Yeah.
That
Alpha.
is true.
Yeah.
So the beginning of something great.
So before you started streaming, was you Joe Beta?
You know, I wasn't quite my complete self until I started streaming, and then I became me. No, you know what's funny? I'm Landor Beta on my Nintendo Switch. You want to know why? Because the bloody platform, to borrow one of your words, the bloody platform won't allow for an extra character to make it LandorAlpha. So Beta is one less character than Alpha, and that and
Character
that's what I have.
restriction.
Yeah, instead of LandorAlpha, like that, that won't.
Yeah,
It doesn't
LandorAlpha
work.
doesn't cut it.
So Landor Beta, it's a good joke. I'll still kick your butt in Mario Kart though. Don't worry about it.
You may laugh at my name, but you won't laugh at my driving skills.
Blue shell in first place, you're gonna cry.
If they throw banana skins, you won't laugh at my banana skins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at
Mushrooms as well,
targeting
is it?
people with those banana skins. So be
Mushrooms.
careful.
What? No, the
Ooh, whoa.
Joe-
That's after the podcast.
Yeah. That's you lot in Vegas. No, Joe,
Oi.
Ian is actually completely wrong on the question that he thinks I'm going to ask you.
Oh.
No, he's not. He's completely right. So listen, here's the thing. I know it's a bit of a dull question, but we spoke about this at Pokemaster Holly. We come across as these one-dimensional. Hi, we love Pokemon. Just Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go. Streaming, YouTubing, creating content, podcasting. People don't really sort of get to see us as. I can't remember what she said. I think she had like a three-dimensional human. I think.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
remember. Which I thought since that I was like, that's actually such a good point when you just sort of see this side. Talk to us a little bit about you, studies, job, how you got into Pokemon Go. When did you get into it? And sort of, what your aims and ambitions are. Just sort of take 5 minutes and tell us about you.
Well, you already have my government name, so that's probably more than you need to know it. No, I'm kidding.
What's your social security
And by the way, you only get 20 seconds for this section. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
Oh God! All right,
No,
so I got
I'm
my
joking,
start
I'm
in.
joking.
Okay, I was about to give you the real quick one. All
elevator
right.
pitch?
Quick elevator pitch, 30 seconds. So, taking a step back from just Pokemon Go into like content creating, streaming, all that stuff. I want to say it was back, I think 2016, I believe, when I first really started getting to streaming, content creating. Back before there was a Twitch.tv, Justin.tv was the predecessor, and I got started on there. I was actually multi-streaming way before people really even knew what streaming or podcasting was way back in the day. So I got started there. I was actually doing like more tech-focused things. I got involved in like online gaming communities, started running IRC chats. If you don't know what that is, then you're probably too young, but it's basically an online chat forum where people get to talk and hang out and stuff. I got into that, ended up going to school for programming and web development, which is more or less where my job resides now. I was in school for a few years into my current job I'm in about 2015, where I work for a public media outlet, so I'm more in that space, and I help manage websites and online content platforms, uploading videos, metadata, the whole shebang. And I got into Pokemon Go. I started playing day number 1, so July 6th.
Oh, you're a day oneer. Okay, fine.
And I'm a day oneer.
Yeah.
However, I can't say I was playing every day since then. Just like pretty much everyone else that's played the game, I had a small break somewhere between 2017 and 2018. So I was out there chasing Charizards and Snorlaxes and Pidgeys. Oh god, they were everywhere. In the beginning, back in the day. And for those who are more recent players, this is before PvP. This is before raids. This is before a lot of modern features that you guys have come to know
Trading.
about. This is just trading too. Yeah, that was even around then. This was straight getting out there, throwing Pokeballs at Pokemon, catching them, and then just looking at them because that's all you can really do.
Before IVs.
This is looking at IVs, and there weren't even bars for the IVs.
Yeah.
You had to translate the text, and it was team dependent.
Man.
Each team had their own phrases you had to translate and figure out what it was. All we really knew is if it was like a hundo or not. That was about
that was it. That was literally it.
It's been a journey, isn't it? It's really been a journey. I get emotional.
If you're complaining about the game now, you didn't see anything from way back in the day. It was a lot more limited, and people were a lot more careless about their gameplay due trespassing, walking streets, car accidents, and it was bad. But we've come a long way since then. I've come a long way. Came back into the game back in 2018. One of the earliest events I remember participating. I think the two happened around each other. I don't remember which one was first. There was Squirtle Community Day and also Larvitar Community Day, which we just had the classic of recently. I'm going to get into that later, from my understanding. How I got back into it was I actually got outside. For some might be of a hard concept to understand. There's an outside. There was one back then too, I promise. And I got out there to got into one of my local parks and actually integrated into the local community, because there was a while where I didn't know there was a greater Pokemon Go community where people actually hung out with each other, got together and walked around, played games and had fun.
Social interaction.
Yeah, I know. That was my first time. I was like, what is this? This is insane. Before that, I was trying to take down like 3-star raids on my own. It was impossible. It was like level 20 something.
And back in the day, that was a struggle.
It was very much so.
Using a 63% IV Pokemon.
Before we knew better about IVs and what to bring into raids and what levels really truly meant. Yeah, that's what it was. I got into my community, made friends, and then next thing you know, we're going out to walk around in this cemetery. We're going to go to this park. We're going to go on this raid day grind. That's where the real memories really stem from. Yeah. And I still talk to those people to this day. We don't really get together as much because people are a little bit more dispersed these days, moving away and stuff like that. But community was a really big part of my upbringing as far as the game is concerned. But now, if we fast forward a little bit, changes in the global climate as far as like health concerns with like COVID and everything kind of shifted how I did my content. I started, like a lot of other did, on YouTube making content for Pokemon Go. That shifted to doing more live streaming when they finally told us, go home, stay home. You got to make this work somehow. So plug in the phone to the computer, and that's where I really started growing my online community. It like took off from there ever since, and it's been quite a journey building an online platform, as I know you guys are well acquainted with. And that was a real shift when we had to take it from in-person interactions to digital interactions.
Yeah.
But that's how I got to not just spread my wings locally like I did. I got to branch out internationally to people who I probably wouldn't have reached otherwise. It's been wild who I've been able to come in contact with, the people from vast amount of countries around the world for the love of the game. We're all playing something that we all love, whether people have grown up with the main series games or not. And we're playing Pokemon Go. We're having a good time. Remote raiding, when that happened, oh boy, that just blew the door off of the whole thing. Everyone, people who haven't played since like day one started coming back and like, we can do what now? What's a raid?
What is this game now?
this game just leveled up, man. And here we are in 2023 now, having lived a very long digital life in terms of that kind of thing, and having seen a lot of things grow, seeing what I've been able to accomplish. And I guess you would say a relatively short amount of time. It really hasn't been that long. It's been a journey, and I've been loving it ever since. So now you guys know my background. I'm a very digitally oriented person as far as education, upbringing, and content creating. Here we are doing a lovely Incensed podcast.
Nice. Now, we talked about obviously the IRL streams and things like that, but having jumped over to YouTube, obviously, so you've done some main series stuff as well. I saw you did a little exclusive stuff for Violet, which was nice. Has Pokemon been like a big part of your life in terms of the main series games? If so, which one did you jump onto, or is it sort of something more recent?
So not quite recent. I go back to the OG days. I go back to Pokemon Blue.
Ooh, Game Boy.
Oh, back.
Yes. On my lovely Indigo, maybe that's what it was, Game Boy Pocket I got for Christmas.
Okay.
Yes. But where you had to use like one of those attachments if you want to play at night, you have to put a light on it, or just really want to see from an angle like it looks like I'm gonna I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I go back to Pokemon Blue. That's where I got my start, and I got into the games. I was watching the show, pretending to play the TCG. I can't say I was actually any good at it, but I at least had cards when I was younger. All that was well and good until growing up in a religious household. Some of you guys may be able to identify with where I'm about to go with next. The parents took everything away that was Pokemon related because everyone thought it was the devil or whatever with that. And looking back on it, I'm like, Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know if you play Pokemon backwards, maybe.
Oh god, yeah, play the theme song backwards. I don't know, see what they're talking
Might be hidden
about.
messages.
But yeah, seriously though, that's my parents got wind of something that someone had said one time, like, oh man, we gotta take that away. We can't have that in our house. And then as quickly as I got it, it's as fast as it went. And so I was out of the it was gone. I was out of the Pokemon scene until I jumped back when X and Y came out.
That's a few years ago.
Oh wow, that is a big break. Yeah.
That it was like becoming reacquainted with a long lost friend. And not only that, there's Pokemon I'd never even heard of before that were in the games.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this thing? What's that thing? And finding out that Shinies were a thing, I'm like, it was black and white. You couldn't tell the difference back in the day. Hit in the face with like all of these things, and then like mega evolutions, like that was a thing apparently. Like, okay, whatever that's about. All right, cool. That's where I got back in. I kind of technically went backwards when Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby came out. Oh, you know, Hoenn tie into the Hoenn tour coming up
Nicely
soon.
done.
Yeah, there you go. Got into that, and then I've been playing ever since. Pokemon Go came out. Been on that ever since. I've just been playing all the main series ever since then. So it was a part of my early upbringing, gone for a large portion of my life, well into my young adult life. Deprived! Pokemon. If I can only time travel backwards and have a few words with my parents, but that's okay.
Sorry, what I'm about to say, it was the opposite for you. Like, I genuinely cannot wait for my child to get old enough, and I'm going to be like, get it out the loft and wipe it clean and be like, now child, your life starts. Just as I hand over my purple Game Boy Color
passing it down.
With silver version, and I'll be like, your life now begins, child. Good luck on the hunt to find Lugia or whatever. I can't remember what happened in it.
Cue dramatic music.
Yeah, it's just funny that obviously your experience was the complete opposite. It was like, Happy Christmas. Maybe not.
No, maybe we just take all the fun stuff away.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So going back to your content, Joe, you are quite tenacious, shall we say, on Instagram and TikTok, you know, the devil's platform. Talk to us about your processes, because you're doing a lot of shorts with a lot of good information, really graphically amazing. I know that probably comes back to your job, but talk to us about that, because they do look awesome, and I know they do get a lot of traction.
So, you know what's really funny about relating that to my job? I actually don't make content like that for my job. It's basically taking someone else's created content and doing something with it, like uploading it, distributing, whatever the case may be, managing it. So it's actually kind of funny. I had to learn how to do all of that on my own. Maybe some YouTube tutorials here and there, but just largely exploring. I use DaVinci Resolve in case anyone's curious as to like what I use to edit. I take that's free to use, you know. Lots of fun tools. Best color grading tools basically in the world, according to a lot of people. It's the industry standard when it comes to that.
Top tier color grading software.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at Milo. He's just getting
I know the way around it.
He's like, ooh, color grading. Yes,
my curiosity's piqued now. As a film editor.
Yeah, true.
Come on, dude.
Imagine it.
You went to I was like, oh, I didn't know about that.
Too busy playing backgammon.
Wouldn't say much. You can get nice bits of tech that you can color grade stroking balls, Coops.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've witnessed it.
Milo's sitting there going, what? I use iMovie.
Listen,
I don't normally talk about these things.
There's nothing wrong with iMovie. Nothing wrong with iMovie.
Oh,
Windows Movie Maker's not good enough. What do you mean?
Yeah. Windows Movie Maker.
Some nice star transitions and some line swipes here and there, you know.
But you learn to do all the graphics and stuff yourself, kind of.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I find whatever assets I can to really help convey information. And unfortunately, in the day of the devil's platform, TikTok, and all the things, we have to fight for people's attention these days. How are we going to keep someone's eyes on one thing for long enough to be able to communicate or trying to communicate? You got to make things fast.
Just swipe. If you don't grab their attention quickly.
Exactly. That's exactly. If you don't grab, they're gone, and they're on to the next thing, and then you just lost a potential follower or whatever.
You should start doing like shorts that like grab their attention, but then like you push them away. So you'd be like, "Do you want Mega Rayquaza in Pokemon Go?" And you'll be like, "Oh my god, like yeah, I do," and then be like, "Well, I don't. Keep swiping." Like, you should catch them off guard, right? It might, catch them off guard, and then they might be like, "This guy's funny. I'm going to follow."
Reverse psychology. I like it.
Right, honestly, I do it. I think that actually would do pretty well because people hear Mega Rayquaza and be like, excuse me, my interest is peaked. And
when's it Pokemon Go?
I don't want to keep going. Like, but I want. I'm interested in getting. How can I get it? Then you get the questions flowing, get the comments.
Yeah.
It's interaction bait, and that's that's another part of that. Yeah, so I've taught myself how to edit in DaVinci Resolve, taught myself how to edit, period. Have done a lot of studying, a lot of video watching on other people's content, how they approach trying to keep attention and convey information the best way possible. It's been a long and I would also say very difficult journey trying to put something like that into practice, because like you were just saying a second ago, it's about trying to keep attention span. First 3 seconds, if you don't have it, they're gone. So you have to really hit them with something good, pull them into the rest of the video. And then if you're really lucky, I'm sure you guys are familiar with that phrase. If you're lucky, you get a shiny. No, you might get some interactions with like likes and comments or whatever. You might get a Daramaka spawning in the wilds. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, you really, it's about fighting for people's attention. It's fighting for people's time. Because one, you don't want to waste people's time. You want to convey something as fast as you can, as quickly as you can, with as much information, relevant information as possible. And then one really good thing is if you do it right, you get them to ask more questions about additional details that may have been covered or may not have been covered. You can continue to convey and get interaction. These platforms see them like, oh, they're sticking around to comment. Let's maybe push this a little bit more, you know? And you have to really think as one of those viewers mindlessly. I know I might have offended somebody if you watch like scrolling through TikTok and Instagram. I do too, but it is mindless. I'm sorry.
You're on
okay?
Joe's TikTok, he's not talking about you.
That's right. So it's really that journey that's been very interesting, trying to study the human psyche, basically, to see how people tick and what makes people interact with things. I would say for the better part of 2 years, I can't put an exact date on my first upload without scrolling all the way back to the beginning of time. We're up to 34,000 followers on TikTok.
Nice.
Yesterday, day before yesterday, something. And it's been a journey. And that's without having the advantage of like the earlier days when it was like really easy to blow up on the platform pretty quickly.
Milo's idea of short form content is something under 30 minutes.
No, over.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. 30 minutes. Man, wow, you're keeping people around for that? Heck
Right.
yeah, then that's the best right there. 30 minutes.
Exactly. The attention economy.
Joe, yeah, I was going to say, going back to earlier, watching a Milo vlog is like watching a series, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
who's
like his
binge-watched?
introduction. It's like I'm actually about to watch something come on BBC. It's legitimately like a TV show.
Legit. But no, Joe, my last question for you, bro. My last question for you, bro. Where do you want to be? If I said to you, we want you back on the podcast in 2 years, we'll talk about that at the end of the show. But like, where do you want to be? Do you have personal goals, or do you just want to just keep doing what you're doing and helping out the community for raids and taking people to events that maybe can't afford it? Like I said, if I said to you in a year's time, come on the show, what will be different?
I want to work more on educational content. It's great to bring entertainment content. What I really want to do, and something I've discovered in my online journey, is that there's always new people coming to the game. I don't want to say long gone are the days, but compared to when Pokemon Go first started in 2016, we have more platforms now where some people may even watch some YouTube videos. People are on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're on whatever else may be coming out soon that people are going to jump on and make content for. Interacting with community that way, they're building their knowledge base of the game a different way. Yes, I do want to move that into more long form content as well, but also educational short form content, interacting with people on those platforms. I keep coming across new people who are either returning to the game, asking what's going on, what's new, tell me, oh, I just got my Charmander for the first time. I'm like, I remember those days, man. Seeing something for the first time, that's exciting. Those days are gone for me. I'm an old man in terms of Pokemon Go years
it's funny
now.
You say that because, like, genuinely, this is not like a lie for the content and the conversation. I was on a bus earlier in London and a school kid got on and I was standing up and he was standing up and he had his back to me and I was like recognizing the hand gestures. I thought, I think he's playing Pokemon Go. So I sort of like adjusted where I was standing and bless his heart, he was genuinely playing Pokemon Go. And as I looked over, it was the Pokédex screen for Plusle and it really made me
Plusle, man.
No,
he's in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, no, but it just, but like you said, it really made me smile and I was like, damn, like us boys, we will admit we forget that a lot of the time, and a lot of my opinions and a lot of my comments are based on level 50 players, and you are right, I forget, and sometimes I get wrapped up in my world and I forget that we might have 100, 200 listeners that are below level 25 and you know they've just started. So it's interesting that you say that for sure.
Yeah, just yesterday. So I've done this crazy thing now where I've decided to try and dual stream between Twitch and TikTok. Managing those two chats at the same time and trying to interact with those guys, it's a lot. It's tough. I keep getting asked the same question over and over again. Hey, you're getting invited to this raid. Can you invite me to that too? And I'm like, don't you know how remote raiding works? You can't piggyback invites. People legitimately don't know that because they're new to the game and probably have never emote raided before. And I'm constantly reminded of that, and I have to keep taking a step back and say, I'm level 49 now. What is it that I can do to welcome and better equip newer players who are coming into the game to help them out? And I think educational content is going to be one of the next things I really try to get into, even if it's the basics of how to throw a curved throw, a curveball.
It's funny you say that. Nobody does that anymore. I mean, Nick did it back in the day, but nobody is really making that sort of educational content. You get news videos, you get vlogs, you don't really get the how to play the game stuff anymore.
I want to say it's a shame, but at the same time, in the past, people have covered that, so it's not like it's not out there at all. But there aren't too many people looking out for the newer players really getting into the game. There are definitely some people out there making tips videos and stuff like that to enjoy their journey, to equip them. Here's what's new. XL candies are a thing now. That wasn't a thing till fairly recent. That's a different part of the grind once you get to whatever the cap is now for that. Are we still at 40 now? Is it like 38 now? 37?
31, isn't it?
I think it's 31 now.
It keeps moving. They keep moving it and making it more accessible. People are going to start wondering what that's about. Education, I want to move in that direction. Entertainment, I still want to do some fun videos. I did one recently that I uploaded where I did a $20 challenge. Can I get shiny Tapu Koko with $20 within 20 raids, since raid passes are roughly $1, right? So, and it's a 1 in 20 chance, so it's a lot of trying to see if that lines up.
No,
yeah, it's playing the odds.
I'm going with no.
Stay tuned. And I know there's that conspiracy where it's like it's easier to get it in the beginning, and then if you start doing it later into the cycle, it's like impossible to get the shiny, or it's like some seemingly high number or whatever.
One of those theories that people tout, and it's like, it's so wrong. There was Pro Plani took ages. He took like over 50 raids to get his shiny. Obviously, he's in APAC, Australia. I'm like, I log in for Australian raid out and do 2 raids, get it. You're like, that was nice. So it's so skewed. It's so skewed, man. So it'd definitely be interesting to see if you manage to successfully do it within 20 raids.
Yes. By the way, when I say tomorrow, it will already be out by the time the podcast is out.
So 2 days ago.
At that point.
2 days ago.
It'll be 2 days ago then at that point. You're late. Go watch it.
You've got something fresh, though, to watch.
And I kind of want to do more things like that, where there's like a challenge. There's like something. Well, there wasn't quite anything at stake here. I guess my money. Go watch it. Even try to challenge for yourself. It's also a good way to keep myself accountable with in-game currency spending.
It's also good clickbait, isn't it, to get people to click on that video?
And it's good clickbait as well. So I'm trying that out to see how that works as far as viewership is concerned, and to see how people like to interact with it, to see how I like it, and if I want to continue working with it. But from what I've observed so far, it's been pretty well received. And can't wait to see how that goes and what it could turn into.
So that's what you want to do coming up sort of in the future of this year, 2023. But I want to talk a little bit more about sort of content management, because you obviously do multiple different platforms. You said you were streaming to 2 different platforms simultaneously now. Being a dyslexic and struggling to read, I can't imagine trying to read 2 chats at once.
It's chaos.
It sounds like it. How do you manage your time with obviously your job and creating content and working out what goes on what platform, what are you going to stream, etc.? What's your scheduling sort of like?
I just recently nailed down a new schedule, of which I'm trying to focus on. I'm sticking to about 3, max 4 days a week for streaming, depending on if there's like a special event on the weekend or something. So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings. So it'll be Monday 6 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday as close to 5 p.m. Eastern as I possibly can get it in prep for raid hour. I also get off of work at 5, so you can imagine the
straight in, yes.
From one mind to the other. It's tough, so it's never exactly at 5. And then Friday at 6. And then TikTok, I've been really trying to work on growing the TikTok community, building the connection there, since that's now my largest platform that I'm on. So I'm aiming to try to do an evening stream Monday through Friday on there. But one thing I warned everyone of, because I've had to take a step back, think to myself, and reprioritize things myself. This is kind of leaning into time management a little bit about real life. One thing that a lot of people forget is that us content creators, streamers, whatever you want to call us, we're real people. We require rest, require nutrition, water, food.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Yeah, exactly. We're real people. We have real people needs. We have to sleep. We have to eat. We have to do all sorts of things, and not just play Pokemon Go 24/7. And I already don't play the game 24/7 because I actually spend more time creating content than I do playing the game. That's just the reality of it at this time. We have to be able to do other things, and I've had to step back. I'm like, okay, I'm 31 years old. I'm married, so that's already spent time with my wife and make sure she's happy and all that stuff. There's that life. There's work. I work a 9 to 5. Talked about me being a web content producer. And then outside of that, there's obligations and other things. Then there's content creating. Sometimes I have to find whatever time I can get to make content. Sometimes it's on my lunch break. I'm getting news about about something and I have to film something really quick and then edit it as fast as I can. Sometimes it's not completely within the lunch hour, but I literally have to find the time wherever I can to do what I can do. And sometimes it's not out whenever something drops. I'm going to have to be okay with that. And people are going to have to be okay with that. And no one's complained about it. They're still getting their information. So I've taken a step back and have been reevaluating my time and trying to schedule things and make sure that real life is prioritized first. And then there's content creating, and that's still something I'm trying to fight with and work better towards. Everyone knows my time is limited with content creating. How do I make that more efficient? Well, I try to utilize a number of different tools. There's a platform that I subscribe to. It's called repurpose.io, where I take TikTok, right?
Yeah.
It gets fed into Repurpose, and then from there you can have it distribute to whatever platform would be good for vertical form videos. So that'd be Instagram, that'd be YouTube, and that way you can save time.
3 uploads instead of 1.
It does it for you. You can schedule it, do all your hashtags and your descriptions and your titles and all that right from Repurpose, and then shoot that out where it needs to go. Things I'm using as well, there's a platform called Zapier that I have as well, and this is more of an experiment. I haven't really pushed anything with this yet, where it takes the TikToks that upload, it uploads it to a Google Drive. From there it gets sent to Descript, where it takes the audio from that video, pulls out the text from it, and spits it into a text file and drops it back into Google Drive. In case I want to do something with that can turn it to a tweet, a blog. If I really
interesting.
Yeah, so it's trying to find shortcuts
Yeah.
to better the process for the limited amount of time that I have. And then there's managing all the other platforms I'm on as well. And that's, I'm still trying to better myself in those things and try to get a good schedule going. But those are some things, some tricks of trade that I've learned along the way that really help save some time with what I do.
Time efficiency.
Exactly. It is for anyone that does any kind of video editing whatsoever. If you ever want to throw captions on something really, really quick, it's literally called captions on the iOS App Store. Have AI transcribe whatever you're saying, pop it on there. You can edit if there's spelling, whatever, burn captions in. You can help with accessibility that way for people who need it and upload it. There you go. And reach more than one audience.
Joe might have just saved the podcast shorts.
Yeah, because it was the actual text that was slowing us down. Yeah.
Oh, we were doing everything manually back in the day.
I used to do it manually. I used to do it. It took like an additional 1 to 2 hours to just do that manually.
That's crazy.
Are we plugging the TikTok now? Or not bothering?
We'll do that later. Might have to employ some of those time-saving techniques. But unfortunately, as Mark isn't here, he's usually the guy who asks this question. It's very out there, strange, but in a good way. So I'll do a little short story for you. Picture the scene. We're in Las Vegas and we're going out. Maybe if Nick's throwing a party, I don't know.
Crossing fingers if that happens.
I hope it happens. But for the night out sesh, you want a wingman or a wing woman, 2023 wing person. That might even be wrong. I don't know, but let's not go there. So you need somebody alongside you who's going to back you up, help you out. But it needs to be a Pokemon. So you've got to have a Pokemon alongside you for a bit of a trainer tips party sesh. Who are you picking?
So are we talking like a bouncer type, like to give me my space if I need to rave out?
It's entirely up to you. If you want someone who's going to be there on your side to back you up in a bit of a tight space.
All right.
It's up to you, man.
One of my favorite Pokemon ever is Greninja. I know it's a
definitely
lot of people's favorites.
a fan favorite.
Favorite. I feel like Greninja would know what to do in circumstances like that. If I need to get out, he'll be able to do. Listen, I'm gonna just butcher like a Shuriken or something. I don't know the terminology for like ninja moves or whatever. He's just gonna drop the smoke bomb. We're gonna just peace out and just poof if we need to get out quick.
Nice.
But I feel like Greninja would have some dance moves too. Maybe break it down a little bit for us. Break dance if we're really feeling the jams going on there at Nick's party.
Oh yeah.
Cross fingers that it happens. I think Greninja would be a good wingman to have pretty much in any situation.
I like that pick though. The right vibes there. Got the fight skills, martial arts there, and some spicy moves.
Exactly.
And one day it will know Hydro Cannon.
Or Frenzy
And
Flames.
shiny.
So it'll be shiny and have the default Hydro Cannon combo.
Yes.
Love it.
Mark is going to be gutted that he wasn't here.
Mark,
genuinely.
where are you?
Right? Where are you? Listen, I said he's trying to catch his shiny young goose. But something that was shiny this time a week ago. Shiny Larvitar. Guys, I wanted to quickly bring up, because for me, this is the first Com Day Classic that we've had where I've genuinely been like hyped.
Yeah,
Incredible.
the chop's not happening.
It is one day. It is. But how did everyone get on? Joe, how was your Com Day Classic? Like I said, it was Larvitar to T-Tar. I couldn't play for long, but I make sure I had an hour. Got 296 XL candy. I maxed my Tyranitar, which is going to be my Mega, which is best buddied. So that is all done. I would love to have come away with 2k XL like Milo has, but I couldn't. So Milo, how much XL did you get?
Including some transfers, I think I got about 1,800.
Yeah, of course you did. Oh, of course you did.
That was needed earlier, but anyway.
Joe, that's what Mark sounds like, by the way.
Okay, got it. I have a good idea now.
Joe, XL candy count, and actually just tell us how was the com day for you?
Sure. Normally for com day, I would be out at my usual grind spot and streaming. I actually didn't stream this time, so I decided to accompany my wife to do some errands. So we were just driving about, and I was playing as we could in the car and in stores.
Yeah, real world
do some
stuff.
real world stuff. Exactly. I went to spend some time with her. Overall, I did 18 shinies, which is not too bad considering I wasn't really playing the game as hard as I possibly could.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love our shiny son, yes. So 18 shinies in between all the stores we were going to. I managed to get a hundo, level 1 hundo,
Nice.
CP14, while in the checkout line at a grocery store. It was fantastic. I was like, oh, wow, it's a hundo. That's great. It was a nightmare to level that up.
Noise.
It took so many resources, which I did. It's not completely maxed out yet because I ran out of XLs and candy on it. I don't remember how many XLs I ended up with. Wasn't enough to max it out, though, I can tell you that much. So a good time considering that I wasn't really playing as serious as I could. And I enjoyed the time playing and enjoyed the time.
That sounds
playing.
smashing, mate.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that I enjoy taking community days nice and chill. You know, it's a classic. I went out, I did the community day, but I wasn't going ham running around the park at 200 miles an hour. I enjoyed myself, and that's what these things are about. I couldn't play the whole event because I had prior commitments. I can't remember how many shinies I got. I think 8. I wasn't really pushing it too hard.
Nice
in my opinion, wasn't too bad in an hour and a half. But in that time, I did get a 400 XL, so that plus what I'd already got, I'll take it. Nice little repeat community day. It's nice to see Larvitar back and getting a bit of love.
And many people's first chance to actually get the damn shiny. If we remember our Patreon, Gold Patreon member DerbyRuss saying, like, over 1,200 checks or something it was.
Like that, wasn't it? It was,
didn't play the original com day and then has been chasing it, and it hasn't ever happened. And I have to say, I don't think, apart from Johto Tour or something, Shiny Larvitar doesn't exist outside of damn events, so yeah.
10-kilometer eggs. And 12 as well?
12Ks now.
12Ks now, yeah.
I do 12Ks reasonably frequently. I have about 800 XL to start this com day, so I ended on something like 2600 or wherever it was. But I was just very lucky on that day. I ended up something with like 65 shinies in 3 hours, which was just unreal. Larvitar showing the love.
and all on foot?
All on foot.
Wow.
Because unlike Ian, I will only do 200 miles an hour.
you was the reference I was going for, matey boy.
Yes. I set the pace and no one else keeps up.
Sounds like me.
I came to the realization recently that I enjoy playing this game, but there's no point pretending you're something you're not. So I enjoy playing the game. I enjoy actually having fun playing the game. It's not fun literally running around, not interacting with people. I enjoy just taking it steady, having fun. And you know what? Let's be honest. Who needs 50 Larvitar shinies? No one.
He's right there, man.
Yes.
He's right
Hello.
here.
I think it depends on the mon, because for example, it's very rare. But like a mon like Litwick last year, I feel like that really needs to be grinded. But I agree, I'm not for Larvitar. That's why I just got one. I don't need 12 maxed
Exactly.
out T-Tars.
Exactly.
I don't.
You really don't.
I only need one that's going to be the mega. You know, I've got about 5 hundo Rampardos anyway.
Mug.
Oh,
yeah. But like I said, I will agree to disagree. I totally am with you, Ian. But there is maybe one in a blue moon where I'm
occasionally
like, okay, don't talk to me.
there is a
The
bang out.
grind
Yeah,
is on.
okay. I give you that. Yeah.
But it's interesting because obviously we talked about new players. Obviously Joe's talked about that a lot. I think it's great, bringing these back. And then we as level 50 players or OGs of the game, we don't have to suffer through a Charmander 2.0 reoccurrence.
When's that come day again?
Yes, let's talk about Charmander 3.0. When's that? April?
Don't joke. It could
Please
happen.
don't.
Yeah, I thought you was about to do a recap on it, Joe. Now,
Well, actually, Coop, I do have a recap to talk about. We're talking about Noibat Community Day. It's been announced. It's happening Sunday, February 5th, 2023 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Make sure you guys are aware of that. We're going to be getting shiny Noibat in the wild, increased spawns. It's going to be getting Boom Burst when you evolve Noibat into Noivern. Make sure you do that before 10 p.m. local time. But between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. local time, make sure you guys do those 4-star Noibat raids. This is the first time the community Pokemon can be featured in that raid, and it will be shiny. And then if you defeat that with enough people to be able to do it, because it's going to be hard, you'll have Noibat spawning around the gym for 30 minutes. It'll be the same community odds for getting the shiny like it was from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. There'll be a community research story, abundant noise, the usual stuff with there. Make sure you do it to get your rocket radar. That's usually pretty fun to get that. We'll have triple Stardust, double the chance for XL candy. You're going to be able to use our incense and lure modules for 3 hours during that time. A total of 2 special trades during the event. Double catch candy. We'll be able to take some snapshots for a nice community surprise if you get a shiny Noibat through that. And trades will be half off, 50% less Stardust. And that will be your Noibat community. And if you care, there'll be stickers. Back to you guys. I don't care about the
Slightly
stickers.
over, but we'll give that to
I'm
you.
not a
Slightly
sticker
over
person.
the minute, but we'll give that to
Fine
you.
in the edit, trust me.
You can skip the sticker part. I don't care. You can take that.
Yes.
Sterling effort indeed. Looking forward to that Con Day. Got to be said. In a week's time, exactly.
I just found out he was triple Stardust, so I'm very happy.
Oh, see, he learned something. Maybe
There
you
you
should
go.
watch my TikToks.
Every
Or
day
Instagram
is a
Reels,
school
or
day.
wherever you want to get it from. It's fine.
Can't Coopsy.
Fine.
But I think I can hear Nick limbering up. It is time for...
Is the news.
Thanks, Ian.
Nice.
We've got a few bits to talk about, boys. The Hoenn Tour. Not only Las Vegas, but Global have had yet more news.
Nice.
So we'll share this around. It's not going to be as easy to share around because what they do is they add everything to the normal article and it's sort of sporadically chucked in between. We've got our medals that we can pick and choose. You can choose obviously Ruby or Sapphire. And the key thing to know is if you're in Vegas playing 2 days, the medal will stay the same. You get to pick it once. And if you're doing Vegas and Global, it will carry over as well. There's going to be different perks depending on if you pick Ruby or Sapphire.
If you have not heard yet, I have received clarification that I am authorized to share. I haven't made a tweet about it yet. I'm planning on it though.
Ooh.
Remote raiding will be allowed in Vegas.
Oh, it will be allowed. Oh, okay.
However,
Okay,
dun.
there's a but.
if you're not in Vegas, even if you bought a ticket, you're not in Vegas. You just wasted $30 because you're not getting bonuses. You're getting the usual rewards you get after raid, and you're just getting the typical Groudon encounters. That's it. Standard remote raid, no bonuses.
But, I get no XL candy.
Oh, you'll get the usual stuff. You won't get the
Right.
Hoenn Tour specific bonuses. Like you
The
won't
primal
get the
energy.
the primal energy.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
And that's what the week after
what
is
Global's
for.
for.
though.
Yeah, no, I'll wait. Why am I going to raid Groudon and Kyogre, not get primal energy? I've just got to wait a week. I'm saying that there'll be millions of people that will do both. But yeah, in my opinion, I'm going to wait.
Hey, if you're gonna grind it because you love Groudon and Kyogre, then you're just gonna do it no matter what.
Well, that to be fair, Joe, thanks for that. That's kind of like breaking
genuinely
news, I
finding
guess. So
that.
thank
It
you for...
is. Yeah, I got clarification on that. I just need to sit my butt down and craft a organized tweet to convey the thoughts and then get hate for it. What do you mean? I
How
spent
dare you.
$30.
How dare you?
Yeah, you weren't supposed to spend it because you're not going. Someone else could have bought it.
Yeah,
Who was
exactly.
actually
I
trying
guess
to
that's
go.
a fair point, isn't it? Why would you need the primal energy if you're not there because it's not part of the real world game at that point?
Bingo. There's literally no bonus without the
It
ticket.
is a very good point. It's the thing of chancing a ticket.
Exactly. People
isn't it,
paid
with an event
$100
and
to be there
hoping-
plus travel. Then they're going to want some exclusivity on these things. It makes perfect sense.
That's 100% it. If you go to the park and you have no ticket, you're going to be looking at grass in the game.
Yeah.
There's going to be nothing there, no stops. You might as well just put an incense on and just enjoy watching people play the game.
Yes.
I don't know.
Time to enjoy that daily incense for 15 minutes.
Oh, man.
I mean, speaking of the badges, I've got to admit, both look amazing. But for me, the Kyogre badge is kind of doing it. The blue badge with the Kyogre.
I'm not surprised, Ian, that you're choosing blue.
Yeah, but
Still Waterfall.
I am Team Valor, so red kind of should even be a thing. But the blue badge does look awesome.
Well, Ian, if you're going to be picking the Kyogre badge, I think I'm going to be picking the Groudon badge, which means we will be going head-to-head in Vegas.
Milo.
Each hour, double entendre perfectly intended, but each hour you can complete special field research on behalf of your team. Depending on which team takes more field research, all trainers will see increased primal rates of either Primal Kyogre or Primal Groudon. So Ruby and Sapphire, very much a head-to-head challenge, plus the chance of encountering additional wild Pokemon. Now, this is listed as being in Vegas. It will carry over the head-to-head team battle into the global Hoenn Tour, which will be happening the week after.
So if Team Me wins and does more field research, we are going to get these exclusive encounters. Masterful 27's favourite Pokemon, Minun, Illumise, Wailmer, Lunatone, and Rainy Form Castform. And of course, being a Hoenn Tour, all of these do have the shiny potential.
Indeed, all shiny potential, and these will all be shiny potential on the Groudon side, so Primal Groudon. If we...
Team U.
Team Me, fine, whatever. Team Red, we're going to be getting more appearances of Plusle, Volbeat, Trapinch, Solrock, and Sunny cast form. And that will be cycling every hour depending on which team does the
And
best.
selfishly, I hope Team U wins because the Sunny cast form is the one that we don't see a lot of in the UK at the moment.
Very true indeed.
Is it ever sunny there?
Maybe once a year.
50% of the day.
So Pikachu,
You're hyped, aren't you?
my head hurts from my life, and then when I open this article, it hurts even more. Pikachu wearing Brenda's hat. I don't know if that's Brenda down the street, and Pikachu wearing May's bow.
2 additional costume shiny Pikachus.
More shinies to show.
As if we haven't seen enough of the Reggies, we're going to have a coded quest to be able to encounter them a little bit. There will be secret codes that'll be hidden throughout Sunset Park if you're going to be attending the Hoenn Tour Vegas event in person. When you find them, you'll be able to earn a chance to encounter them. Yes, that's right, the Reggies.
Whoa.
Again.
They haven't just been in raids.
Not at all.
That'll be interesting to see. So that is Vegas only.
Oh, but actually, there's one more thing that is Vegas only, Milo.
Oh, really?
Yes, there will be an exclusive Vegas Hoenn Tour t-shirt available to buy for people that go to Pokemon GO Tour Hoenn in Las Vegas.
Which it looks amazing.
It looks awesome.
It's a good design. But Coops, something that might tickle your fancy a little bit more, rather than costume Pikachus, is we're getting item and Pokemon storage upgrades of
50 spaces.
50.
There's got to be a
50.
soundbite for that.
We got... Yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness me. So,
Give us more than 50,
It would've been
Niantic,
nice.
please. People want more storage.
even the new players need new storage, come on. But those are just some extra details, and as we've said, like the Hoenn Tour stuff is being fed through in drips and drabs, which I think is the right way to do it. Keep the hype going, and then keep the questions popping up for us.
Indeed.
Mega Rayquaza?
Mega Rayquaza when? Let's find out.
If they dropped it at the end, that would be amazing. It's not going to happen, but it would be awesome.
Indeed, but okay, so Ian's going Team Kyogre,
Yes.
I'll be Team Groudon, I think. Joe, do you know which one you're going to pick?
Oh, man. I'm probably going to go Groudon.
See, you've got like a
Yes.
purple background, so you're kind of a combination of the two.
It's true. Well, I mean, I like both of them, right? I have a hundo of Kyogre, hundo of Groudon. I need to
There you
align
go.
that a little bit, so I think that'd be great.
That'll be the thing is, if you go for the Groudon badge, we'll be chasing to get more primal raids, more chance to try and get for the hundo of that. Coops, are you picking a medal?
To be honest, I'm still trying to find the thing about the Reggies, but I'm over it. I'm done.
You don't need to worry, you won't be in
we're
Vegas.
done. Yeah,
Needs a hug after that.
Yeah, can we play a game? It's the only time I'll ever say it.
We can,
play a
and
game?
Wow.
like Milo said, people will be chasing these mons, but right now, we're going to be chasing the tail.
Chasing the tail, chasing the tail, tail to chase, it's chasing the tail.
Okay, right.
First time in 2023.
It is.
Yes, and undecided. Do you like the reference? Wednesday? Haha, that's Lurch. That's what he says, doesn't he? He goes, and undecided. Oh, look at me in my Addams Family reference. Okay, so this game is called Chasing the Tail, and what we are basically doing is chasing the tail of the Pokemon that's said before you. So the order that we're going to go in tonight is going to be me, Joe, Pokemon UK, Ian Waterfall. That's going to be the order. 2 rules. There are no repeats, and you cannot be silent and hesitate for too long. You give you 1 or 2 seconds, but not 8 seconds, okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to say a Pokemon name, and the person, like in the order that I just said, you're going to basically say another Pokemon, but with the last letter of the Pokemon that I said has to be the first letter of the Pokemon that you say. So for example, Joe, if I say the Pokemon Bulbasaur, you are going to say a Pokemon that begins with the letter R.
All right, Relicanth.
Correct. Right, ready? Your Pokemon is Larvitar.
Relicanth.
Okay.
Helioisk.
Kecleon.
Nidoking.
Graveler.
Riolu.
Umbreon.
Nidoran.
Nidorino.
Oh, Octillery.
Yamna.
Ampharos.
Shelter.
Rampardos.
Sceptile.
Eevee.
Oh man.
No.
Oh man, lack of e Pokemon names.
It's always
coming to
the
mind.
E's that catch people.
It really is. Oh my god.
Oh, Joe, I was rooting for you then. But yeah, so what happens is you're now going to carry on, so you're just going to give Milo the Pokemon, but unfortunately you are out, but you can start the round.
Okay. Well, now that I'm out, the Pokemon to start the next round is Tandemouse.
Esper. Does it start with an E? End with an E?
Ralts.
Scyther.
Rayquaza.
Ampharos.
I've said it. He's out.
Damn.
You're out. Oh my God, I'm in the final of chasing the tail.
never
Actually win.
Okay.
So,
This is tricky. We've had a lot of Pokemon in.
Coops, your Pokemon's name is Fido.
Omanite. See, you're see. I swear to
That's
God.
harsh. That's harsh.
You know what? Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Well
That
done,
was
Milo.
rough.
Well done. No, I'm gonna rise above it. Well done, Milo.
It
Congrats.
feels like a very hollow victory because I cocked up right at the start that you won't have heard in the episode.
Actually,
So
yes.
Did
That
you?
Gen 9. Gen 9's tripping people up here, man.
Oh yeah, you're gonna edit that out, aren't you? Yeah.
yes,
fair enough.
definitely.
Yeah.
So you won't have heard that, listeners. So Coops, you can take a moral victory on that one. Okay.
I always do have to put one in at least.
No. It was
We already
very
have
funny.
one with Tandem House.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I didn't think that. Yeah.
You really ruined my day, that Ian. But we'll move on.
Well, I can ruin your day even further, Coops, because it's time for. There's the mild moan of disappointment from Coops,
I
but
was going to say, excuse you. But okay.
bless you, Coops. So, I unbelievably ran a poll tonight, basically leading off of Ian's getting to know you question. Do you binge watch TV shows? If so, comment below the most recent that you did binge watch. Vote and retweet, and I've done an okay job of getting people retweeting. 10 people. Well done.
Oh, Mark
Out
will
of
be
61
upset.
votes. 61 votes, 10 people retweeted. I'll just read a few little comments out from our listeners.
Nice.
Shout out to Highbone, who said, I wish I had the attention span for that.
Nice.
CH, most recently Suits, amazing show.
Suits, great show.
Keith, Evasion, has said House of the Dragon.
Yeah, no one cares about Keith.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Harsh. It's harsh.
No, he'll enjoy that. Hopefully. Hopefully.
That's one less listener.
If not
Yeah,
Keith,
just-
you know who to blame. The final comment will come from Barside. I play Pokemon Go, and I bought a big-ass TV the same week I started playing Pokemon Go. 1 year later, I installed it properly. So I think that says a lot. A pretty shocking, it's actually 2/3 to 1/3, 67% of people who voted said, hell yeah, and 33% said, nah, mate.
GG's.
Well done, all of you who binge-watch shows.
For the 5th time tonight, Mark's going to be gutted. I don't think he's ever had 61 people on his poll.
I think he
before
has
in
on
this
He's
show,
done
has he?
better than that.
longer polls, but in the short ones. I don't think he's had 10
A
people
lot of
retweet
people on
them
there in a
before.
short time.
Well, anyway, here's the Twitter man. Let's wrap up the show with all of our favourite section. It's time for...
Shinies of the week.
Brian Lyson has just caught this after only 6 raids. We have a weather boosted shiny Tapu Koko using a silver pineapple berry on it. Some people might have some words to say about that, but Brian, congratulations on your
Gotta get that
on
one
your
extra
shiny.
candy.
Like, what are you using a silver pineapple on it for? No, it's fine. I am okay with it. Others, I can't speak about them.
Use a pin-up next time, just a
yeah,
pin-up.
yeah.
Yeah, just use the one and you'll be good to go. But after that, Malcolm Burgess writes in and says, I was listening to the podcast during my daily 10-kilometer walk. I counted a Galarian bird, but unfortunately it ran. Welcome to the club, or otherwise you're staying in the club because no one's
Not
catching
so
these things.
exclusive.
It's not very, no, it's not very exclusive. It's my 22nd Galarian bird I've seen. Oh my God.
Jeez.
So wait, he didn't catch it, no?
He did not catch it.
No,
It
okay,
was
that's
a
right.
runner.
We're gonna cut this part out.
That's all good. 22. Well, congratulations on being someone with the stick-to-itiveness to be doing it that consistently, to be seeing 22 birds. That's a lot.
Pogs.
That's dedication.
Furby Andrew, OMFG, I cannot believe I just hatched this. Incensed podcast, I know it's not a Shinies of the Week, but had to tag you in this rare one. We're looking at a 100% Salandit, and guess what?
Oh.
It's a female.
Oh, Andrew.
So they won the lottery
Yeah.
That's
twofold
amazing.
as far as I can count here. Oh my God.
That's so lucky. Oh my God.
Congrats on
Jeez.
that. That's awesome.
GG's.
Definitely involved that big GG's right there. But not too far behind that, we have Judd saying, I have been catching up with old Incensed podcast episodes this past week. Going to attribute that to my ridiculous amount of community shiny luck for Shinies of the Week. Hashtag Shinies of the Week. Any chance I beat Milo? And this
Ooh.
guy has a whopping total of 50 shiny Larvitar. Milo, did they beat you?
They did not, but they hit the half century. Well done. That's a big milestone to hit on a com day.
Ian, what did you say
Nobody
earlier?
needs that many.
Who wants
Seriously.
50?
Nobody needs that many.
He literally said 50 earlier, too.
Yeah,
He used that number. I remember hearing that.
Don't do them down. Come on.
I love the fact my guy literally's like, oh my god, I can't wait to write into Incensed podcast, and Ian's literally like, who
Before
needs
we
50?
get to his
no
comment.
one cares. Yeah.
What's your phrase, Coops, from when you made videos?
Yeah, no one cares, bro. No one cares.
Thank you for writing
Yes, thank you
it.
anyway.
And hashtag flex it up. It's a little too late to say that now. 'Cause apparently, Milo beat him. Sorry. Good job, Joe. Good job. I'm proud of you.
You still smashed it.
You
GG's.
did a great job.
Oh, Joe, I'm going to say you absolutely smashed that section. I think out of all the guests that we've had, I'm going to say you're my favourite to do Shinies of the
I
week.
agree. Yeah.
So thank you.
Shinies of the week. It's probably too late to sound.
That's after.
clips.
Oh, you want that?
Hello, trust.
That's clips.
As
yeah.
you know, post-production exists.
That's true. It does.
Like I said earlier, behalf on the boys, thank you very, very, very much. We're going to have to wrap the show up now. Marky usually does this bit, so it feels weird, but can we get a verbal contract that maybe
Actually, I started
on some
it,
sort
but
of
Mark took it
anniversary?
over.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it? Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get you triggered.
It worked.
I can tell. Yes! Got you back
Twice?
for the
Dang.
game.
Oh, my God.
So, Joe, we've really enjoyed having you on the show this week. Hopefully you have too.
I've enjoyed my time here. It's been a blast. Absolutely.
And if we invited you back, would you come and join us again in the future?
Of course. Who would
go.
turn down
Verbal
the opportunity
contract.
to hang with you guys? Verbal contract.
Lock it in.
Firm
Yeah.
handshakes.
Done.
We'll shake hands in Vegas.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I'll just chop mine off and put it in Milo's case. But no,
Sorry, what?
I'm sure the security agent's going to love that one when he goes through customs.
It's like, nothing to
I
see
can
here.
explain.
What's it in Wednesday? What's the little hand called? God,
Thing.
sorry, is that another
Thing.
reference?
Yeah.
Sorry. Who am
How?
I tonight?
Multiple triggers, multiple references? What?
Yeah. Buddy, just take 45 seconds to just sort of tell everyone where they can find you. You are the loveliest guy, very, very humble, very down to earth, and it's been a pleasure to have you on. So just tell everybody where they can find you.
My name is LandorAlpha. Thank you for joining the podcast today. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all the platforms. I'm LandorAlpha on all the platforms in case that you got lost with that. Solo.to/LandorAlpha. It's like a Linktree site. Everything's linked there. You can check out everything there. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for the support. Great hour for everyone to come through. Wednesdays, as close to 5 p.m. as I possibly can, go live on Twitch. I'm there. Come hang out. Come do some raids. It's going to be a good time.
Do you know what, right? It's so funny. Normally when a guest starts doing that, I'm like, all right, and thank you, but you're so nice. I couldn't cut you off. I would have felt terrible.
He's like, oh, Lando's so... I could do it shorter. Do you need
No.
He's
You're
got the
fine.
short form content nailed.
And Ian, I'll let you wrap this baby up.
Yes, so thank you very much. We're coming to the end of the episode. Thank you to everybody that has contributed to the show. Thank you for those shinies of the week and some of those not so shinies of the week as well. Before we do get off, we just need to say special thanks to everyone that supports us through the Patreon system. So if you're on the bronze and silver tiers, thank you so much. We really do value you. And of course, for those of you that are on the gold tier, some of which are on our stream tonight, we couldn't make the show sound as good as we do without you. And to shout you out by name, HermesNinja, JB, CliffordMert, DerbyRuss, Kerry and Zachary, Connolly, Dom the Ragnarok, ML Falk 2022, Apex 187, Professor 58, and KTechnogal. We really do give you all the love in the world. We couldn't make this show without you. And that is pretty much going to do it. If you want to jump on board with our Patreon, we do have tiers starting at £1.50. Find us at patreon.com/IncensedPodcast. And of course, I couldn't end an episode without Coops telling you that he wants 5-star reviews, especially on Spotify, because that is his mission, to get us to 5 stars and then to get us back when we drop down to 4.9.
Stay there.
Yes. So,
Oh, boys, good news.
what?
Spotlight Hour reminder. You thought this had gone away with Dynamo, but oh no. Next Spotlight Hour is Blitzel with a shiny. And I don't know the bonus because I'm an OG player. Probably don't care. It's like probably evolving XP or something, isn't it?
2 times transfer.
Oh,
On that
okay.
bombshell, we're done here. See you guys later. You don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here. Peace.
I choose you!